Hi everyone, it's Luann and I'm here with a tutorial on how to make this shadow box. We are in the process of making birthday invitations for my niece's Sweet 16 and I need to show her how to do this because she's going to do this. Because this, it's not a lot of work to do, but when you have to make 80 of them, yeah, it's a lot of work. So this is the shadow box that we're going to be making, which are these here, and you can make them in various sizes depending on your available chipboard. So this is actually the first shadow box that I ever did. It's a shadow box invitation for my kids who just happen to be a day apart, and they're 2 years apart. Yeah, it's complete craziness right now at my house. 2 and 4 years old, madness, I tell you, madness. So this is the invitation that I did, and I have a tutorial on how I made this one, and in that tutorial I modified this invitation so that it's an invitation that you can hang, and this one is completely undone. So you can hang it if you want to, and then it also has a pocket in the back. And it's not an invitation, it can be any type of shadow box type thing. So let's get started. I kind of already started and then realized I did something wrong, so. Oh, and before we go on, I do want to go over just a few things. One, I might be recording or you might be watching this upside down. If you are, I am very sorry. My webcam broke and I'm using my camera and I can't do it the other way, so you guys are upside down right now. I promise I will try to fix it, but if I can't, I'm sorry. And just another tip, the chipboard that I'm using is a very, very lightweight chipboard. It's not, like you can see, it's not thick at all. If you use a thicker chipboard, what you will end up with are edges that kind of crack. See, this one, it's this chipboard, so my edges did not crack. But when I used the white one and the black one and the medium weight regular craft chipboard, I don't know if it's because it's thicker or the gloss. Ooh, something just fell over. The edges cracked a little bit, or where you fold, it cracks a little bit. So to prevent that from becoming an issue, I would just put a little bit of Mod Podge or some other liquid type of glue just to make sure that, you know, it's secure and it doesn't continue to peel off. Because I know some paper does that, including like the glitter paper. You know how when it doesn't matter if you score, if you fold, it just cracks. You don't want that to happen. The chipboard didn't actually crack, but it just kind of started to peel just a little bit. So let's get started, and for this one I'm going to make the inside, I'm going to show you how to measure the inside, is going to be 3 by 4. Okay, so it's going to be 3 inches by 4 inches on the inside. So the outside overall size will be 4 by 5. So I've already done my first score, so what you're going to want to do is score at 1/4 of an inch all the way down, 3/4 of an inch all the way down, 1 1/4 inches all the way down, and 1 3/4 inches all the way down. And what we have just done is created the flap. This is the flap on the outside that is going to be folded on the inside bottom piece of your shadow box. So we have the bottom, which is the first section. The second section is this piece of your shadow box. The third section, which is the center of the 3 1/2-inch sections, is the top piece. I hope everyone is still following. And this last section is the outside of your box. So now this next 1/2-inch section, which would be all the way up to 2 1/4, don't score, is going to be the bottom piece of your shadow box, which is this, 1/2-inch section here. So from there, I'm going to go over how to score your next line so that you have a 3-inch inside right here. So you know that 2 1/4 is going to give you your next section for the inside, but we're not going to score there. You're going to go from 2 1/4 and then you're going to go out 3 inches because we want our inside to be 3 inches. So we're going to go from 2 1/4 to 3 1/4, 4 1/4, and 5 1/4. And we're still not going to score there. We're going to go over one more 1/2 inch, which would be 5 3/4. And we are going to score there at 5 3/4. I hope this is not confusing. I will go over it again in just a second when we do the other side. So from here, we're going to reverse our score. So basically, we're going to mirror this section here. So from 5 1/4, that's our first score. We're going to go to, sorry, not 5 1/4, that's 5 3/4. we're going to go to 6 1/4, 6 3/4, 7 1/4, and then 7 1/2. And this extra section here, you can just cut that off and throw it away. And my cutting mat is way over there, so I'm just going to use scissors. And I'm just going to cut it right now so that it just doesn't get confusing later. Okay, and what I'm going to do is draw just some lines so you guys can see where I scored. Okay, so those are all of the score lines that we just did. So now we're going to rotate it and do the other side. So again, this is going to give us our 3 inches. So if you were to measure this center piece, it should be 4 inches. And it's 4 inches, so that's what we want. So we're going to turn this over and we're going to score. We're going to do the same score on this outside edge. Same exact score. So we'll do that, and then we'll, figure out the center again, and then we'll do the outside piece. So score at 1/4 inch. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm using the right end. Okay, so 1/4 inch, and then at 3/4 inches, 1 1/4 inches, 1 3/4 inches, and that's it. So you have, again, your 1/4 inch score, and then 3/4 inches, 1 1/4, and 1 3/4. Sorry, I didn't go all the way up, but you'll see that. Okay, so now this piece here, we want it to be 4 inches wide on the inside. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start from 2 1/4, because again, this is our inside tab, and then our inside wall, outside wall, and then the top wall, outside wall, and then this is the bottom wall. So at 2 1/4, from there we're going to go to the right 4 inches. So 2 1/4, 3 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 6 1/4, and again, you do not, 6 1/4 is right there. You do not score at 6 1/4. You're going to go over 1 more ½ inch to 6 3/4 and score there. And again, you're going to mirror the other side. So from 6 1/4, you go to, sorry, I keep saying 6 1/4. From 6 3/4, you go to 7 1/4, 7 3/4. Sorry, 8 1/4, and then 8 1/2. And I'm just going to cut off this excess piece that I don't need. Okay, so that's this piece. And when you're determining the size of your shadow box, so for example, if you want the inside of your shadow box to be, 5 inches, you do the 5 inches plus, 2 1/4 plus 2 1/4, and that's how you figure out how big your piece of chipboard needs to be. Now, chipboard that I have seen bigger chipboard than 12 by 12, but it's kind of hard to get and it can be pricey. But Michaels they have this paper. It's not chipboard, it's kind of like this type of paper, and they have it in the art section, and you can totally use that too to make larger shadow boxes. And they come in these huge, gigantic pieces. I actually got one to cover up a box once. Okay, so this piece right here, the center, should measure 5 inches. Let me measure that. Okay, so we have, yep, 5 inches. So now we're going to do, we have some cutting to do and just a couple bits of more scoring. So this tab here is going to be glued down on this side, and this side, and then this side, and that side. So we have 4 more score lines to do. And we're going to score, okay, let's see, from 2/4 inches, we are going to score all the way down. Sorry, I don't have a diagram, and I should have had a diagram done. Let's see. Yeah. From the 2/4 inches, you're going to score down through the first score line and the second score line. Sorry, not the first and second. You're going to go through the first and to the second. So right here. Yeah, so from the first, through the first and to the second. And then on this side, from 6 1/4, we're going to go down through the first score line and then to the second. So I'm going to grab those 2 lines right there, and right there. That is how far you will score. And then you're going to turn this over, and you're going to do the same thing. At 2/4, you're going to go score through the first score line to the second only, and then again at 6 1/4. So basically you're doing it 1/2 inch from this last score line that you did to the inside. And you're only doing it on the top and the bottom, or just 2 sides. It doesn't have to be the top or the bottom. And that is what will give your shadow box that angled framed look. Hopefully you can see that angle right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut, and we are going, where are my scissors? We are going to cut all of these lines that crisscross each other. So from here all the way out, and then from here all the way up. And you can cut right on the score line or just a smidge on the inside. Depending on the chipboard or the cardstock that you use, that will determine how much on the score line or in the score line or outside of the score line you should cut. There's that one. So again, we're going to cut all of these little squares out. And because I marked with my Sharpie, I can't see where my score line is. So basically I'm cutting off this piece, okay? On all 4 sides. Ooh, that Sharpie is stinky. Okay, and then one more piece right here. And we still have some cutting to do, so just bear with me. And I really hope this is it's clear. And yeah, I hope I'm going over all of the steps clearly. Okay, so there's the last piece. So now these little score lines that we did, from that score line, you are going to, I need a thinner pen. That is not a pen, there's a black pen. You're going to draw a diagonal line from this bottom score line all the way to this corner right here. Let me draw a line really quick. So again, from this bottom score line that you did, just to the corner in an angle. And you're just going to the next score line. You're not going all the way down, just to this next score line. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. And you don't have to draw that. I'm just kind of you can do it from the score line to this corner once you have your score line down. I'm just doing that so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So this is what I've done. So I've gone from, remember I went through the first score line, stopped at the second, and then from here you're going to go down in an angle to the next score line to the corner. So now we're going to cut off this piece right here. So let me do it on this side. You're going to go down the score line, and for this one you want to cut it on the inside right here, the inside of the score line. And you might have to make some adjustments once you fold it all together. Okay, and then you're going to cut at an angle to the next corner. So you have that. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. Like that. And let me tell you, the reason why, or how I came up with this way to make a shadow box was my husband's in IT, and he had bought some software or something, and it came in a box, like a shadow box type of thing that comes out. It's like an envelope. And I'm like, ooh, what is this? And he's like, I don't know, I'm gonna throw it away. And I'm like, can I see it? So I opened it up and I saw that it was a shadow box type thing, and I'm like, that's so neat. I'm like, I can totally make this. So he didn't give me the box because he decided that he was gonna keep it because it had like the code or whatever for whatever software. So I went back to my desk and I did it with a piece of copy paper, and I was so excited. I ran to his office because we worked together. I ran to his office and I showed him, and he's like, what is it? I'm like, it's a shadow box. He's a guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Okay, so now you should have something that looks like this. Like that. You might be able to see it better like that. Okay? So now we're going to fold all of our score lines. And I don't know if I should fold. Oh, I need to fold this way. Okay, so we're going to fold all of our score lines, every single one of them. And you can even go a step further and score the front and the back to make it easier to fold. Entirely up to you. Okay, so then we have almost done. Okay, so that is what you should have now. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue down these pieces first, which are the ones that we did not cut at an angle. These pieces here we're going to glue down. So I'm just going to grab my ATG and put some. You want to use wet glue. You do not want to use an ATG. I'm just doing it for this tutorial, but you do not want to use ATG. Use a wet glue, a super strong wet glue, or that super strong, you know, red line sticky tape. I've never used it, but I've heard it's really great. So what I do is I will fold this piece in, the 1/4 inch piece, and then I'll just kind of fold it in half. On the second 1/2 inch piece, just fold it in half and just bring it back up. And then you have that. So we're going to do it again on the other side. Oh no! See, this is why you don't want to use ATG. Totally tore off my chipboard. Okay. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so we have that. And again, you're going to fold this in. So now you have these 3 1/2 inch pieces, and you're going to fold on this second 1/2 inch piece right there. So 1 1/2 inch piece is on the back and 2 are in the front. This is the easiest way that I found to fold it, so that it's even and straight and you have straight inside walls. You don't want to glue it too much on the inside or too close to the inside, because then you end up with like a slanted inside wall. Okay, so you bring it back up and there you have it. So now, before you glue these last 2 pieces down, you want to fold it in, fold your little tab in, and then fold it all the way in. And make sure that it's not pushing these 2 walls out. So I think this side I need to cut a little bit on this side here, on this straight line here. And you'll see when you put your shadow boxes together if it's too snug on the inside. You just a little bit, like I just cut off like a smidge. just go back. Okay, that actually looks good. So I'm going to put glue. Oh my god, seriously? This is why. No ATG. No ATG, people. Okay, so for this one, the ATG might not stick because I'm not really putting a lot of pressure. But what you also want to do is you want to add a little bit of glue right here, just at an angle. You want to add glue right there, where your angle piece is going to cover these walls. Okay, so that's where you want to put glue. I mean, when you fold it, you'll see where you need to put glue. So we're going to fold this in and then over. And these walls with the angle edges here, these are the only ones that you're going to really be careful with, because you're not folding them in half. You have to actually eyeball it and make sure you're doing it right. And if you use wet glue, you have a little bit more wiggle room when you do that. Okay, so that is our one wall. And the reason why you add glue on these angled edges is because they still move out, and it'll stop it. When you glue these pieces down, it'll stop it from moving out. See? They're completely stuck together. And for this one, I used the Eileen's Fast Grab tacky tape, or tacky glue, and it's the one in the purple bottle. It's the one you guys see me use all the time on my tutorial videos. So again, for this next piece, we're going to fold it in, make sure it's nice and snug and not too snug. Remember, you don't want it to be too snug, because what it does, you end up with this side popping out, and you can see your open edge right there, and you don't want that. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to add my ATG halfway down so it doesn't tear it off. And again, don't forget to add your glue to these little corners there. And after, practice. Get some, regular cardstock. Make a couple of them before you move on to chipboard, or maybe you just want to go ahead and do the chipboard. Okay, so there we have it. That is our finished chipboard box. Sorry, chipboard shadow box. And my pieces are kind of coming out because I didn't glue them down, and this is what you don't want. So that's why you add the glue on those corners, so that you don't do this. And once everything is glued down nice and tight, you have all of these clean edges. I just really love how these chipboard, the shadow boxes came out. And you can make them any depth with, just figure the math out. If you want a larger tab to glue down on the bottom, work that in. Don't forget, it's a 1/4 inch, score 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, move over a 1/2 inch, and then over the size that you want the inside of your shadow box to be, and then again you start scoring at an additional 1/2 inch. So I did go over that measuring in the tutorial, so if you have any questions, please let me know. If you need actual score measurements for a specific size, let me know and I'll figure it out for you, and I'll send you the message. And actually what I'll do is, if you ask, I will post it in the comments. Sorry, not in the comments, in the description, so that if anybody else ever has questions about that, they can look in the description. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope this is a useful tutorial for you guys. I really love making these. I think these are a lot easier to make than these that I did. This one had a lot of steps to it and a lot of cutting with a lot of pieces. Oh, sorry, I did forget to go over. You can totally add this this ribbon to this same type, so to this shadow box. The only thing you have to do, and I actually had my hole puncher right here to do it, is before you glue any of your tabs down, on this side, you know, you just go in and you punch your holes. Actually, no, I can't do that one because it's glued down. But you just go in, punch your holes, and then you glue it down. Sorry, you punch your holes, thread your ribbon through there, and then you glue it down, and you'll have a hangable shadow box. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope this tutorial is useful, and if you guys make any of these and make something all fancy and cute, let me know. I'd love to watch the videos. You guys have a great day. Bye.